RECK 21.9. ITMOM 26.2. Statikk 31.1. RECK 19.2. ITMOM 24 flat. Statikk 23.5. RECK 19.6. ITMOM 22.7. RECK 16 flat. Statikk 21.9. RECK 16.4. ITMOM 23.4. Statikk 28.7. RECK 17.3. ITMOM 24.3. ITMOM done. RECK 17.8. RECK done. Statikk 20.2. Statikk done.
Qualifying round number 1. You got 7 rounds of qualifying. Let's go green. Pilots Army Quads live on the tone. Less than 5.
RECK 15.2. ITMOM 23.5. RECK 22.3. Statikk 18.7. ITMOM 26.2. RECK 15.1. Statikk 26.3. RECK 15.6. ITMOM 23.8. Statikk 18.9.
About 15 seconds remaining. And we're making a statement with this group.
ITMOM 32.9.
Everyone's down. Let's retrieve some quads. Next group, we are ready for you. Going to put ITMOM into the number 6 spot with a 73.6. That's with a pair of 23s and a 26 his first 3 laps. Statikk up into third with a 64 his first pack of qualifying, a pair of 18s and a 26. And RECK 4 laps in this session. And his last 3, a 22 and a pair of 15s, putting him in the number 2 spot with a 52.7. That's 5 seconds out of the TQ spot. That's his first round of qualifying. But had lap 2 been another 15, he would have taken the number 1 spot. Still another 6 rounds of qualifying to go for them as they go back to the pits here inside of the Craftsman Inn to charge. And we get set for your second heat of the group. They get a practice pack. We're looking for Porkchop FPV, ZOETEK, and HydeFPV. Next work with their practice pack and their first qualifying round of the group. Porkchop was the first one in from this group. There he is. All right, first one's a practice one. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
ZOETEK 30.2. Porkchop FPV 39.3. ZOETEK 26.3. Porkchop FPV 29.8. ZOETEK 27.4.
Well, a lot of crashing, but 3 laps in for ZOETEK. Still another 20 seconds remaining on the clock. We're back in the air with Porkchop as well, and he's going to bring it down. ZOETEK, the track is officially yours.
ZOETEK 28.8. ZOETEK done.
And missed it by 0.6 of a second for a 5th lap, but we'll take it there. Let's put new batteries in. That group now gridding up for qualifying round number 1. On deck is Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers. You're on deck. Quality number 1. Good luck, pilots. Armor quads live on the tone. Less than 5.
Porkchop FPV 19.3. ZOETEK 24.2. Porkchop FPV 15.4. ZOETEK 22.4. Porkchop FPV 14 flat. Porkchop FPV 25.4. ZOETEK 34.2. Porkchop FPV 18 flat. Porkchop FPV 13.6. ZOETEK 23.4.
What a qualifying round right there for Porkchop FPV. 1 to finish. Course is still hot. ZOETEK working on lap 5. ZOETEK's already broke the top 10 in his first pack on his track.
ZOETEK 23.3. ZOETEK.
And ZOETEK in 10th with an 80.1. And that looks like it's going to be his last 3 at 34, 20, and a pair of 23s. But he was faster on lap 2 with a 22.4. So ZOETEK has some digits to work with. And your biggest mover, Porkchop, into 2nd on our TQ leaderboard. And it looks like that's laps 1, 2, and 3. A 19, a 15, and a 14. Then he had some issues, and he finished up with a 13.6 on his last lap. So 1 to challenge our TQ leaderboard right now in the number 2 spot, 1.4 seconds off of our leader. 1 we could see jump to number 1. Their next pack on the track. That group now taking a little bit of a break. As we go to Heat 3 for Group 2, Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers. You're up on your practice pack, followed by your first qualifying round of 7 here this afternoon. Britt Jott watching the qualifying live stream saying, good job, ZOETEK. Britt Jott also saying, Porkchop flying great, just needs to keep it clean. Well, that was only the 2nd pack on the track. Let's judge with peace and love. We're going green. This is a practice pack. Just get the dust off the sticks, not off the wall. We're going green. Army quads live on the tone, less than 5.
Farmers 19.5. revisionA 33.2. Farmers 20.5. MR-RABBLE 39.7. Farmers 25.1. revisionA 37.4. MR-RABBLE 31 flat. Farmers 19.4. MR-RABBLE 28.9. revisionA 32.2. revisionA 30.5. revisionA done. MR-RABBLE 34.3. MR-RABBLE done.
And that was a practice session right there. Hot lap for Farmers, 19.4. He also had a 19.5 in his 4 laps. Hot lap for revisionA, 30.5. Hot lap for Mr. Rabble was a 28.9. And 3 of the 4 pilots. And so we will get set to go green on their first round of qualifying, which means on deck will be heat number 4 of the group, SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, and Denmark. You are on deck. All right, pilots, qualifying round number 1. Good luck. We're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Lesson 5.
Farmers 18.6. Mr. Rabble 33.1. revisionA 42.2. Farmers 29.6. Killer Cupcake 55 flat. MR-RABBLE 35.1. revisionA 27 flat. Farmers 19.4. Farmers 17.9. MR-RABBLE 27.8. Farmers 19.1. revisionA 41 flat. MR-RABBLE 28.2. MR-RABBLE done. Killer Cupcake 109.8. Killer Cupcake done. revisionA 24.9. revisionA done.
And that does it for our first qualifying round for the group. We're going to go to 17th overall for revisionA with a 93.0. That's with a 27, a 41, and a 24. MR-RABBLE breaking the top 15 with a 91.2. That's with a 35, a 27, and a 28. Laps 2, 3, and 4. And your biggest mover in the group, Farmers, breaking the top 5 into 4th with a 56.5. That looks to be his last 3 laps, a 19, a 17, followed by another 19 for a total of 56.5 in the number 4 spot. So that'll do it for their first pack on the track of qualifying and their warm-up heats. As we go to the final section in Group 2, SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, and Denmark are up with their practice pack, followed by their first qualifying round. For those of us joining us on the weBLEEDfpv YouTube channel, good afternoon and welcome to each and every one of you. We have 4 groups. We've run 1. We're just starting our second. Our third group is going to start at about 3:20 Eastern, and our third group, I believe, 6:20 Eastern. Doing some qualifying. We're also going to be doing an official live stream later, but this is your qualifying stream powered by Lifetime Scoring Engine. Each group of about 16 pilots will be running 1 practice round and 7 qualifiers. They run 2 batteries at a time, back to back. And at the end of qualifying tonight, we take our entire field of just under 60 into 4 divisions. Our hobbyist group, which will be tomorrow morning in a top 16 double elimination bracket, followed by our sport, which is our next 16. We're going green. This is a practice pack. Pilots Armor Quads, live on the tone, less than 5. Then our sport class will be qualifiers 33 through 48. Our hobbyists will be qualifiers 49 and onward. Our pro division, 17th and through 32nd in qualifying. And our elite, our top 16 from today, will be featured tomorrow night on a Sunday night championship, Sunday Night Live, here on the weBLEEDfpv YouTube channel. Stoked to have you with us as we are in the air with Heat 4 from Group 2 with their practice round.
SchwiftyFPV 49 flat. Denmark 122.7. SchwiftyFPV 58.3.
So first round of qualifying for that group, which means on deck will be the top of the order. RECK, ITMOM, and statikk. You are on deck. All right, quality number one. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 20.9. Denmark 27.7. SchwiftyFPV 21 flat. Denmark 30.9. SchwiftyFPV 20.8. SchwiftyFPV 19.8. Denmark 32.1. SchwiftyFPV 19.6.
And that is it. Finish up the lap that you're on. We're not getting you.
27.1 SchwiftyFPV done. Denmark 44.4 Denmark done.
So we're going to take a look at a quad there a little bit. Top 16 for Denmark with a 90.7. Top 5 for SchwiftyFPV with a 60.3. And we get set to go to the top of the order. So if you want to see if something's loose or if it's in pit mode, I wrote it down. If you think that was your best round, I can go back and manually get your time. I have to manually UBRU it. Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely low power. Because I increase the sensitivity of the timer as you're going out there, and I'm just not picking you up. And then I have you like barely register it. Look who it is. ITMOM, Statik, and RECK. This is qualifying round number 2 for them. We're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5. This Nebraska jerky is so good.
RECK 15.8. Statik 19.8. ITMOM 29.7. RECK 15.5. Statik 25.8. RECK 17.2. ITMOM 22.9. Statik 18.6. RECK 17.8. ITMOM 22.2. RECK 15.4. Statik 20.5. ITMOM 21.4. RECK 17.1. Statik 17.3. RECK 17.3 RECK done. ITMOM 21.9 ITMOM done.
Well, we're in a back-to-back situation. ITMOM up 2 spots into 7th with a 65.6. That was with a 22 and a pair of 21s laps 3, 4, 5. Statikk up 2 spots, breaking that top 5 into 4th with a 56.5. And that's from laps 3, 4, 5 as well. An 18, a 20, and a 17.3. And RECK moving from 3rd into 2nd with a 48.6. He's 1.1 seconds away from the top of our TQ leaderboard. And that comes from his last 3 laps of the 7 he did. Laps 5, 6, and 7 of 15 and a pair of 17s. This is qualifying round number 3 for the group. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
RECK 15 flat. Statikk 19 flat. ITMOM 25.2. RECK 15 4. Statikk 17 9. RECK 14 8. ITMOM 27.3. RECK 14 9. Statikk 23.4. ITMOM 20.5. RECK 14 3. RECK 14 5. ITMOM 20.8. RECK 23.2. ITMOM 20.6.
One more if you want it, ITMOM. He says no. We're going to finish things up here with RECK. This one's not going to make any difference. His last lap was a 23 previous. A 23 to 16. Not going to work on laps 7 and 8. But we'll take laps 4, 5, and 6 for RECK to jump to number 1 with a 14-9, 14-3, 14-5. Total of 43.8 to put RECK number 1 on the leaderboard. ITMOM with a personal best as well, still in 7th with a 62.0. So, of course, a break for that group as we get set for heat number 2, Porkchop, ZOETEK, HydeFPV. They're now up for their first qualifying, or second qualifying round. Kilo Zebra says this session is fire. I go asking who was the TQ before? Well, from our first group, Group A, our morning session, Chainsaw was our TQ with a 47.5, which was, I think, 2 15s and a 16. And, of course, that story has now changed with RECK taking over the TQ spot by about 3.5 seconds. And that was with 3 14s, 14-9, 14-3, 14-5 for RECK to sit number 1. Here we go, pilots. Qualifier round number 2. We're going green. Arm your quads, live on the tone, less than 5.
Porkchop FPV 18-2. ZOETEK 24.5. Porkchop FPV 15-8. ZOETEK 22.9. Porkchop FPV 19-2. Porkchop FPV 17-4. ZOETEK 25.1.
We had a heck of a battle there for track position between Porkchop FPV and ZOETEK.
HydeFPV 115 flat.
ZOETEK breaking the top 10. The Porkchop still in the top 3, trying to climb that leaderboard.
FPV 18-5.
Another 20 seconds remaining here on the master race clock.
Porkchop FPV 24.5.
One more lap if you want it, but not going to help you, Porkchop. Let's conserve some lipo. HydeFPV still in the air, working on lap number 2. And Hyde gets back up. Time is yours. You want to try? We got all day. We have a rental. Just happy to be here. All right, your biggest movers, ZOETEK moving up 4 spots into the top 10 with a 66.2. That's laps 2, 3, and 4, 22, a 25, and an 18-1. As he went on to lap number 5, lost some juice. Wasn't able to keep that momentum up, but no harm in trying there as we break the top 10. One more pack to go here for this group. This is their 3rd round of qualifying of the 7 they're getting this afternoon, which means on deck will be a Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers on deck, as we're at qualifying round number 3 here for Heat 2. Let's launch them. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5. Well, it was once again ZOETEK and Porkchop grinding it out. Porkchop pulling ahead as he goes on to lap number 2 with a 15.5. And so he's right now 3rd overall on pace to jump to 2nd and inching closer to the top. 13-2. We'll take it. Porkchop is cooking.
HydeFPV 33.2.
There's another 13 for Porkchop. So he is now taken the number 1 spot with a 15 and a pair of 13s. I was doing some quick math there. slid in by a bunch. Now you got 3 13s in sequence, 39-7 to put Porkchop number 1. With just under a minute remaining on the master race clock. Porkchop going to set her down. Why not? Conserving lipo.
ZOETEK 22.3.
So ZOETEK is sitting in 8th with a pair of 66s. He's got a pair, or 66. He's got a pair of 22s. So looking for something faster here to keep climbing away. Go from 8th maybe into 7th or 6th. Again, need to be a 21.
ZOETEK 22.7.
22.7, so pretty close. Sitting with 67.4 this round. That's about 1.2 seconds off of his personal best. 3, 2, 1. And this one's done. Finish up the lap that you're on. Four more batteries to go. Let's not destroy everything. I know you got the store and all the support there, but that's a little bit of a disadvantage to everyone else who don't have the power of the store, but the support of the store. And that one is done. Well, we got a big mover. That's Porkchop to number 1 with a 39.7. That's 3 13s. A 13.152 is hot lap on lap 4. We're at heat number 3. This will be Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers as they get set to do a pack back-to-back. This is their second round of qualifying, a 7 that they'll get to do here in this group. Group B, we're calling it, our 12 to 3 session. I've got to thank the great hospitality of the Craftsman Inn and Suites. Great breakfast this morning, cooked with love. Nice little breakfast bagel. Just a slice of bacon. Cooked with love by me in the microwave, but it was still good and appreciated. Great way to start the day. The coffee is delectable. I know there's a Starbucks down the road, but who needs it? We're going green. Good luck, pilots. Again, this is your second round of qualifying of 7. Lots of time to do some damage. We're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
Killer Cupcake 15.5. Farmers 20.2. MR-RABBLE 32.2. revisionA 38.7. Farmers 24.2. MR-RABBLE 27.8. Killer Cupcake 46 flat. revisionA 32.9. Farmers 28.6. MR-RABBLE 28.3. revisionA 25.7. Farmers 23.9. MR-RABBLE 27.8. MR-RABBLE done. revisionA 27.3. revisionA done. Killer Cupcake 106.1. Killer Cupcake done.
Well, a good session for just about everyone right there. Killer Cupcake on the board up into 22nd with a 147. Is that right? No. 127. We'll take that. revisionA sitting with an 86.0 in the number 16 spot, right in our top 16 here at the moment. MR-RABBLE up 2 spots into 15th with a 84. And that is it and all in that effort. Well, let's go green again with the same group. Can we do that? Let's do it. Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers getting set to pound their third round of qualifying, which means on deck, it's going to be SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, Denmark on deck. As we're on qualifying round number 3 here for Heat 3 of Group B. All right, pilots, let her rip. We're going live on the tone in less than 5.
revisionA 24.5. Farmers 24.7. MR-RABBLE 32.5. Farmers 16.9. revisionA 25.2. Farmers 18.3. MR-RABBLE 30.3. Farmers 16.9.
There's the run we're looking for Farmers, breaking that top 5 up into 4th. He's got a pair of 16s with an 18 in between, 25 seconds remaining.
MR-RABBLE 20.
Yeah, he's going to bring it down. 2 Canadians in the top 5. It's like 1886 all over again. Oh, Canada. 1 and 4. 5 seconds remaining.
revisionA 25 flat. MR-RABBLE 26.3. MR-RABBLE done.
revisionA trying to finish it up. Also a personal best for revisionA. Still in 16th with an 85.5. This time around, that's with a 30, a 27, and a 26 on laps 2, 3, 4. Your biggest mover, Farmers, moving up 1 spot into 4th with a 52.1. 16, 18, 16. It's 2 qualifiers down, or 3 qualifiers down for them. 4 more to go. Speaking of 4, Let's go to heat number 4, Group B. This is their second round of qualifying. SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, and Denmark. I had too many numbers in front of me. Brit Shot saying, what happened in 1886? Yeah, I was off by almost a decade. I was thinking 1812. History not my strong point. I was thinking 1812. All right, we're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the till, less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 23.4. HydeFPV 26.1. Denmark 36.1. SchwiftyFPV 20.2. SchwiftyFPV 21.8. HydeFPV 43.3. SchwiftyFPV 18.7. SchwiftyFPV 22.5. HydeFPV 58.8. HydeFPV done.
Everybody down on that one. And no change there. Hot lap for Swifty of an 18.7. Lost Denmark on lap 2. Alrighty. This is qualifying round number 3 for Heat 4. We're going green, Pilots Armor Quads, live on the tone, less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 22.5. HydeFPV 35 flat. SchwiftyFPV 26.5. Denmark 31.7. SchwiftyFPV 24.4. HydeFPV 50.7. SchwiftyFPV 18.4. Denmark 35.1. SchwiftyFPV 32.8. SchwiftyFPV done. HydeFPV 46.2. HydeFPV done. Denmark 30.2. Denmark done.
Next race is going to start in about 15 seconds. Let's go green, Pilots Armor Quads, live on the tone, less than 5.
RECK 17.4. Statikk 20.5. ITMOM 24.8. RECK 14 flat. Static 17-8. ITMOM 21 flat. RECK 18-6. RECK 15-9. ITMOM 21 flat. RECK 14-9. ITMOM 22.6. RECK 18-6.
15 seconds remaining. Seeing 14s out of RECK. No shuffle up on our leaderboard here in this session. But having fun, of course, warming up. We go back to back. Expecting some big things when we get into our 5th round of qualifying here for the group.
RECK 25.3 RECK done.
So second pack back to back qualifying round number 5 here for our first heat. Which means on deck will be Porkchop FPV, ZOETEK, and HydeFPV.
Porkchop to 1, R1.
All right. No, second qualifier for them. Yeah. Yeah. See, I was right. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
RECK 14-4. ITMOM 19-7. RECK 14 flat. Static 17-8. RECK 14-2. Static 17-3.
We're at the midway point, a minute in, minutes still to go.
35.5.
We had a hot run going for RECK. 3 14s. Personal best, 42.7.
Static 21.3.
45 seconds remaining, so could be a reset for RECK. He's got to be in the 13s if he wants that number 1 spot back. 30 seconds to go. Got a 19, a 35, and a 23 for ITMOM. So looking for some sub-20s for ITMOM. Can still make it work here in the final throws of this qualifying session.
Statikk 24.9.
Statikk at a 17, a 21, and a 24. And it looks like this one may just be for fun.
ITMOM 25.6.
At least how it rounds out.
RECK 14.8.
Well, wrecked with a personal best hot lap, 13.935 on lap number 5, but needed a few more to move from second to number 1. This time around, a total of 56.5 for Statikk. Looks like he's about 100th of a second off of his personal best. And ITMOM this time around, a 79.2. We're about to go green. There's Porkchop, ZOETEK, and HydeFPV. Pilots arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5. Qualifier number 4 for the group.
Porkchop FPV 18.7. Porkchop FPV 13.3.
That's a personal best hot lap for Porkchop, 13.3.
ZOETEK 39.3. Porkchop FPV 17.5.
Yep, you're good, Hyde. A minute in, minute still to go.
Porkchop FPV 19.9. ZOETEK 29.5. HydeFPV 117.7.
30 seconds to go.
Porkchop FPV 21.5. ZOETEK 24.4. Porkchop FPV 13.3. ZOETEK 23 flat. ZOETEK done.
I don't take sugar, thanks. Gonna use my garbage can right here, bro. No, this is so good. No changes. Well, we're about to reload them. Back-to-back situation. All right, pilots, arm your quadcopters. Live on the tone, less than 5. Lots of time to do some destruction. Third last round of qualifying for the group, for the heat. The 3 pilots. Looks like the 2 pilots that we got going on.
Porkchop FPV 13-9. Porkchop FPV 17-8. ZOETEK 29.5. Porkchop FPV 21.6. ZOETEK 20.6. Porkchop FPV 20.8. ZOETEK 21.8. Porkchop FPV 19.6. ZOETEK 23.2.
Down. Well, I thought we were down to just 1. Here comes ZOETEK on his final lap.
ZOETEK 23.1. ZOETEK done.
And ZOETEK, personal best, 65.6. That came from laps 2, 3, and 4. A 20, a 21, and a 23. Still in the number 8 spot. Maybe in that elite group.
Paul, I knew that was coming. I saw you walking over, I was like, yeah.
We're set for Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, and Farmers.
The organizers of this event, if I have to, I love it.
This is qualifying round number 4 for the group. Qualifying round number 4. Let's go green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
Farmers 18-2. revisionA 28.6. MR-RABBLE 30.7. Farmers 18-2. revisionA 27.8. Farmers 20.3. MR-RABBLE 29 flat. Farmers 17.8. revisionA 29.1. MR-RABBLE 27.1. revisionA 24.8. MR-RABBLE 25.7. revisionA 24.3. revisionA done. MR-RABBLE 27.3. MR-RABBLE done. Killer Cupcake 56.4. Killer Cupcake done.
Well, we're going to go back to back with that group. A little bit of damage done. MR-RABBLE moving up a spot into 14th with an 80.2. Was from his last 3 laps. A pair of 27s and a 25 in his last 3. And revisionA moving up 4 spots from 16th into 12th with a 78.4. And that looks to be his last 3 laps of the 5 he did. A 29 and a pair of 24s for a total of 78.7 to slide into 12th. Again, we're going back to back with this group. Qualifying number 4 into qualifying number 5. Which means on deck is Swifty, HydeFPV, SparepartsJr, and Denmark in the on-deck circle.
revisionA 23.9. MR-RABBLE 29 flat. Farmers 32.8. revisionA 23 flat. Farmers 16.9. Killer Cupcake 50.3. MR-RABBLE 36.3. Farmers 17 flat. revisionA 25.7. Farmers 16.1. MR-RABBLE 27 flat.
15 seconds still to go.
26.2.
Farmers is down. Personal best, though, 50.2. Pair of 16s and a 17 on his last 3 laps. revisionA with a personal best as well. Looks like his first 3 laps of the 4 so far. Pair of 23s and a 25.
7.7 MR-RABBLE done.
Moved revisionA up 1 spot into 11th with a 72.6. And 1 to finish up, it's Killer Cupcake working on lap 2.
Killer Cupcake 120 flat. Killer Cupcake done.
And that one is done. Looks like your biggest mover, 1 position, revisionA into 11th with a 72.6. And Farmers still solid in 4th with a 50.2. We welcome back heat number 4 as they get ready for their 4th qualifying round of the 7. We'll get SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, Denmark are up. They're also on deck, and then 3 away. Final 2 packs are RECK, ITMOM, and statikk. Again, that is 3 away. Let's go green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5. Well, I was going to say the one to watch in this one is Denmark. Of course, lap 1 starts right there at the start-finish gate. Denmark 18th right now in qualifying, but he's less than 7 seconds, about 2.3 seconds per lap away from breaking our top 16. Highest seed in this one, SchwiftyFPV. HookedFPV in the top 25 and SparepartsJr trying to get on the board. Swifty with a 21-0 to start things off.
Denmark 36.4. SchwiftyFPV 20.7. SchwiftyFPV 20.1. Denmark 34.9. SchwiftyFPV 22.5. HookedFPV 132.8. SchwiftyFPV 18.9. Denmark 42.8. Denmark done. HookedFPV 25.4. HookedFPV done. SchwiftyFPV 21.5. SchwiftyFPV done.
So we're going to run that group again. Qualifying round number 5. All right, pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 36.7. Denmark 41.3. SchwiftyFPV 21 flat. Denmark 31.2. SchwiftyFPV 23.1. SchwiftyFPV 20.3. Denmark 32.2. HydeFPV 123.5. HydeFPV done. Denmark 31.1. Denmark done.
Over there. This is the polar opposite of over there. Did this camera just save my life? Hey, Hooked, was that one better than the one you just ran? I think he crashed. Yeah. Was that one better than the... I need about 30 seconds. All right, second last round of qualifying. I'm set when you're set, Perry. Thank you. All right, we're going green. Good luck, pilots. Armor quads, live on tone, less than 5.
RECK 14.6. Static 17.7. ITMOM 20.8. RECK 14.1. Static 18.1. RECK 14.8. ITMOM 28.8. Static 17.8. RECK 18.2. ITMOM 22 flat. Static 21.9. RECK 18.9. ITMOM 27.1. RECK 20.9. RECK 19.6 RECK done. ITMOM 23.6 ITMOM done.
Well, no changes on that one. Let's go to your final round for the group. On deck is going to be Porkchop FPV, ZOETEK, and HydeFPV in the on-deck circle. All right, pilots, arm your quads, live on the tone, less than 5.
RECK 14.1. Static 18.4. ITMOM 22.2. RECK 22.6. ITMOM 21 flat. Static 26.8. RECK 17 flat. Static 17.1. ITMOM 23.3. RECK 16.4. RECK 12 flat.
30 seconds to go.
RECK 12-5.
There's a pair of 12s for Wrecked. On a lap 7, we take them.
Statikk 41.7. RECK 13-8. ITMOM 21.8. ITMOM done. RECK 14-7. RECK done.
So a 12-0 is no good? So the 12-0 doesn't count, but the 12-5 does, right? Neither of the 12s. Ooh. All right. So that was 14. No changes to our leaderboard. Those 12s from Wrecked were not legit. So he'll retire right now in the number 2 spot on our leaderboard, 42.7. All right, Heat 2. Last 2 for you. Porkchop FPV, ZOETEK, HydeFPV. All right, pilots, arm your quads, live on the tone, lesson 5.
Porkchop FPV 16-3. ZOETEK 21.7. ZOETEK 21.4. Porkchop FPV 31.4. ZOETEK 21.5. Porkchop FPV 21.3. ZOETEK 22.5. Porkchop FPV 25 flat. Porkchop FPV 14.5. ZOETEK 21.5. Porkchop FPV 16.6. Porkchop FPV done. ZOETEK 26.8. ZOETEK done.
Well, another personal best for ZOETEK. Still an 8th, but a 64.7 on his second last round of qualifying. That's from laps 1, 2, and 3. 3 21s in a row. Oh, that's not right. Fuck. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's right, 76.86. Yeah. Minute 16.86. Minute 16 flat. We're going green. Pilots Army Quads live on the tone. Less than 5.
Porkchop FPV 15 flat. ZOETEK 22.6. Porkchop FPV 19.3. Porkchop FPV 14.1. ZOETEK 33.6. ZOETEK 24.9. HydeFPV 117 flat. ZOETEK 26.4. HydeFPV 45.9. HydeFPV done. ZOETEK 22.5. ZOETEK done.
And that's it for Group B, Heat 1. ZOETEK 5 laps in the session, retiring in the number 8 spot overall. Porkchop 3 laps in this session, retiring as our TQ at the moment. And HydeFPV 2 laps around this time around. 77 and a 45. Six heats to go. We're at Killer Cupcake, revisionA, MR-RABBLE, Farmers are up. They're on deck. And then 3 away from SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr in Denmark. HookedFPV, if you have a second, come and see me. HookedFPV. All right, pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
Farmers 17.4. revisionA 24.6. MR-RABBLE 27.3. Farmers 16.8. revisionA 27.1. Farmers 16.6.
A minute in, minute still to go.
53 flat. MR-RABBLE 27.3. Farmers 18.1. MR-RABBLE 27.8. revisionA 38.6. MR-RABBLE 27.6. revisionA 24 flat. Killer Cupcake 120.8. Killer Cupcake done. MR-RABBLE 26.5. MR-RABBLE done. revisionA 34.1. revisionA done.
And that'll do it to it. Of course, we're going to reset. And final round of qualifying here for the group. No changes on the leaderboard, but warming up for this final kick of the cat. On deck, we go to SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr in Denmark.
revisionA. revisionA.
All right, pilots, arm your quads, live on the tone. Here we go again in less than 5. Third last heat of Group B. Final round of qualifying here for revisionA, Farmers, MR-RABBLE, and Killer Cupcake.
Farmers 18.5. MR-RABBLE 31.9. Farmers 17.8. revisionA 39.1. Farmers 17.6. Killer Cupcake 56.8. MR-RABBLE 26.9. revisionA 24.9. Farmers 16.5. MR-RABBLE 25.5. revisionA 24.3. Farmers 21.4. MR-RABBLE 28.8 MR-RABBLE done. Killer Cupcake 56.1 Killer Cupcake done. revisionA 30.1 revisionA done.
And 2 heats to go to round out the group. Last 2 packs on the track here for SchwiftyFPV, HookedFPV, SparepartsJr, and Denmark. They'll be taking a short pause, bringing in our 3rd group at about 3 o'clock for tech inspection. Start racing again 3:20 p.m. For those watching the weBLEEDfpv YouTube channel, it will be a new stream in our playlist at 3:20. We still have 2 more heats to go here in this group, but Group C will be going green on or about 3:20 p.m. this afternoon. That's just under an hour from now. All right, pilots, second last pack on the track. Good luck. We're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 20.7. HydeFPV 30.9. Denmark 33.7. SchwiftyFPV 37.1. HydeFPV 34 flat. Denmark 34.5. SchwiftyFPV 22.1. HookedFPV 31 flat. SchwiftyFPV 18.2. Denmark 38.7. SchwiftyFPV 19.5. SchwiftyFPV done. HookedFPV 25.2. HookedFPV done. Denmark 25.1. Denmark done.
That's all 4 pilots wrapped up. Personal best for Swifty, 59.9, still in 6th. That's with a 22, an 18, and a 19 on laps 3, 4, and 5. Back-to-back situation. Final heat. Final pack of Group B. All right, pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
SchwiftyFPV 20 flat.
Final pack of qualifying here for the group. Swifty sitting with a 59.9, just posted a 20, so on pace to try and break the top 5. We'll see what he gets done. Got to be sub 20s on these next few. There's an 18.6. We'll take it. Swifty still grinding for us. Looks like some issues for SparepartsJr. HydeFPV in Denmark were tangled up there for a little.
Denmark 29 flat. Booked FPV
little track battle. At 18 and 19 now, laps 2 and 3 for SchwiftyFPV. Lots of time on the clock, 45 seconds remaining. Start with 4. We got all 4 in the air. Now we're down to 2. Everyone back up. 30 seconds to go.
FPV 26.1. SchwiftyFPV 26.1. Denmark 32.8. SparepartsJr 137.2. SchwiftyFPV 22 flat. Booked FPV 25.4.
There's the ding. Finish up the lap that you're on.
31.7 Denmark done.
Denmark with a personal best, moving up 1 spot into 18th with an 88.3.
SchwiftyFPV done.
Swifty with some 18s and 19s, not in order though, but still bettered his time. Got about 0.2 of a second off of his previous round. 57.9 now, the new total for Swifty. Denmark, your biggest mover, moving up 1 with an 88.3. And Hooked with a hot lap. In fact, a better session. 26, 25, 24 for Hooked. And 2 runs ago, he was at 26, 25, 24. 0.5 of a second better on lap 2. 0.2 of a second better on lap 3. And 1/10 of a second better in lap 4 for HydeFPV. Has him in the number 12 spot. And that concludes our Group B here at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. The Craftsman Inn and Suites in Fayetteville, New York. And so we take a pause for the cause. Group C Your tech inspections, about 28 minutes time. We'll bring everyone in at the top of the hour at 3 for tech inspection for Group C, our third group to work of the 4. And we'll be going green in about 48 minutes from now, 3:20 p.m. here inside of the Craftsman. For those watching on the weBLEEDfpv YouTube channel, it will be a new stream in our playlist. We're back in about 48 minutes with Group C, our third group of 4 at 3:20 p.m.
weBLEEDfpv. Shop now.
weBLEED!
Whoop drones, whoop gates, and accessories. FPV swag. Join the adventure today. Only at weBLEEDfpv.com. weBLEED. weBLEEDfpv. Shop now. FPV whoop drones, whoop gates, and accessories. FPV swag. Join the adventure today. Only at weBLEEDfpv.com. weBLEED.